Okay, we're back at the next lesson now. We've built up the bankside here a bit. It's one of those where we've been suggesting details without actually putting too much actual detail in. So I've been using this Dagger brush. I don't know if you can see that on camera, it may not focus, but it's a brush that comes to a point at an angle. And it's just a really good brush for when you dab it on, suggesting bits of foliage without painting each individual blade of grass or each individual leaves. So certainly a brush I'd recommend to people when you're starting out trying to paint realism in a fairly quick way, which is what I'm doing with this painting. I'm hoping it'll be just a couple more lessons before this is done. But on the palette I've got the usual colours there. So we've got sap green, light green, hooker's green, viridian hue, a bit of ivory black and a bit of titanium white there. We'll probably add to those as we go, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put some more of the highlights in and we're going to build up this reed bed here. So let's work on that now. So in my little jam jar lid here, I've got a little bit of liquid which will just help to thin the paint. So using the Dagger brush, I'm just going to look to put a few more of the highlights in. So I'll take a little bit of the viridian hue there, a bit of the light green, a bit of white. We may need a bit of the cadmium yellow there. We'll just mix up, see what it looks like on the painting. And I'm just going to dab in. What I'm doing is using the side of the brush, just flicking and dabbing, and it gets that hit and miss technique, which is just so good for suggesting detail without putting actually too much detail. You know, my previous painting, if you saw my previous lesson, it was it was a very detailed painting, you know, and I was painting individual leaves and things like that. But here, the idea of this is just to show you that you can still get that realism, but without that kind of laboured approach. So if you don't have too much paint on your brush there, you're just dabbing at it, and these are the highlights now. So what I'm picking out are the much lighter colours where the sun's hitting the grass. Just dabbing that in, just little marks, and you get lots of little broken up marks, and it's just such a good technique for doing things quickly. But I'll show you this and then we'll move on to that reed bed, and that might be the only area where we need to actually put a little bit more detail in. We'll see how we go with that. But the whole point of this painting, as I said, was just for it to be quite a quick one really, and compared to, you know, for those of you that maybe don't have much time available to do your painting, this technique is just so good. You know, it's definitely one you should be trying. You know, so the Dagger brush is just so good for this kind of suggestion of tufts of grass hitting, you know, being caught by the sunlight. So again, you know, I'm just referring to my photograph when I'm doing this. You know, and as I've said, if you've watched previous lessons, one of the things you should be doing is taking a step back from your painting just to see which bits are working, making sure that your background's right in the background and your foreground's richer in colour and warmer in colour, and it's brought to the foreground. And so just use this dabbing technique. And what we've done, we're varying the greens. We've got various bluey greens, we've got yellowy greens. So it's that variety of colours, those variety of marks, that will stop your paintings looking flat. So if anybody's having problems with their paintings looking flat, it will be that one use of colour or tone. So you want to get used to varying your colours and your tones as you go. So I should work on the reeds now. So we can use a similar technique in the distant reeds and just drag the paint down with your Dagger brush. And if you drag it down like this, it suggests those reeds. And so I've got it on the side, so where the angle goes up, I'm just pulling it down. And as you come into the foreground, that's where we'll need a bit more detail. So a bit more of the light green on the paintbrush there. I'm just looking at the reference photo. So again, as I was saying, you know, vary those colours, don't have everything exactly the same. You know, really important point that when you want to stop your paintings looking flat. And we'll probably need to put a bit of dark in down the side here. You can see the Dagger Brush works well in that distance where you're suggesting the reeds. But what I'll do with my rigger brush, get a bit of the liquid on the paintbrush, just a little bit of white to that light green. The light green's quite a nice colour for doing reeds. I'm just going to suggest a bit the strokes here and there. It's probably a little light, so sometimes just be adjusting it, a bit of hooker's green into that mix there, just to darken that off, because the highlights, we don't really want the highlights until the very end. But I'm just using light strokes. You don't need to be really particular about this, just do them in kind of different ways, different directions, so it looks natural. Keep that liquid going in, just to keep the paint thinned down. And then just using light pressure, holding the brush at the end, just using the tip of the brush. And you can see where we've got the dark areas and the light's running over the top, that's where you can see that contrast. But here I'm going to have to just work on that a little bit more. So with a bit of the ivory black, a bit of the sap green, we're just going to mix a darker colour up, a bit of the hooker's green in there, just see how that looks. Bit of the light green, but the reed bed's kind of coming down into the water there. So there's like a little pool there, and then we've got the reeds coming up there. So just darken that off a bit more with sap green and ivory black. And we just go with the direction of growth. You know, something always to remember when you're working from nature is, if you want that realism, is just make sure your brush strokes kind of mimic what actually happens in nature. But see there, we've just a bit more of the black in that, just to darken it off a bit. That's better. And then we'll put a bit more detail over the top in a second. But again, you know, this Dagger Brush, it's got like you end up using like a dry brush technique. If you don't have too much paint, always make sure you don't load too much paint on your brush when you're doing this, but you get this hit and miss technique, and again, it's really good for suggesting foliage. I'm just looking to see where these reed beds are. You know, you don't, as I've said before, I'm not one for copying my photos exactly. I'm just using it as a guide. You don't want to get too bogged down in it, unless you want to be a photorealist. I'm just darkening this bit off here. And so use that dry brush technique for hit and miss effect with the reeds. But to do this, you must make sure your underpainting or the previous layer is dry, because otherwise you'll end up dragging the paint in. You can use this hit and miss technique, the dry brush technique, just to bring out these areas of dark there. Then we'll go back to the rigger brush, bit of the liquid, just to thin that out. And then just go back to that light technique, not too much paint on the brush, light green and a bit of the titanium white. Might be a little bit on the light side. Might add a little bit of viridian green into that viridian hue, just to enrich that colour somewhat. Again, you don't want too much of that. Actually, the viridian green's overpowering it somewhat. So I'll go back into the hooker's green just to dull that down a little bit. You know, a lot of it is just experimentation and just checking your colours as you're using them. You know, you can see as you apply them whether they're working or not. And so remember, don't be too particular about doing this stage. You're just getting that sort of suggestion. Just mixing up a bit more of the ivory black with the light green there, just to do these little bits in here where it's sort of in shadow. So again, we're varying the colours, varying the tones. And that's something to always bear in mind. Keep that liquid going in there just to thin the paint down. Will help you with these finer marks. It's definitely something you want to be using. That or refined linseed oils. Kind of the thing to be using really. Just to thin your paint down for when you're using the rigger brush and trying to get that detail in there. But we won't suggest it all through this section of reeds. To say in the distance, you just want that suggestion at which the Dagger brush is really good for doing. So I'm just flicking with that tip, very light pressure. Never, when you're doing these little bits of, when you want the lines to be really fine, try and keep that pressure right down to a minimum. You know, just do lots of little random strokes in different directions. And we'll layer this up and it will start to look like reeds. So this detail is just going to be in the foreground really. But you want to make sure, before you get to this stage, make sure that you're happy with your colours and your tones in the areas that you're painting over. So in the river in this instance, you know, make sure you get that right, because you don't want to be having to go back into that part of the painting after you've done all these little fine strokes. So it's just something to bear in mind. And so keep these brush strokes nice and light, nice and round, so going in different directions, going left, right, how reeds would normally appear in nature, you know, bending over and growing in different directions and stuff. But this is really the only part of the painting we're going to put any detail with a rigger brush in. You know, the rest of it will be that suggested detail, which is, you know, giving that feeling of realism in the distance without actually painting it literally. And it's a nice way to paint that, you know, just suggesting things rather than painting every single thing. You know, I enjoy doing the detail and painting the detail, but sometimes you get some really nice effects with brushes like your Dagger brush. So it's definitely worth, I mean, it's one I've only really started using fairly recently, but I really enjoy using that one. Just because the range of marks you can get, you know, you want brushes that can do, you know, if you've got a brush that can do a multitude of different things for you, it's a good one to have. So it's definitely one I'd recommend you have a look at and maybe try. Okay, so we're just carrying on that mixture of the ivory black and mostly the hooker's green in there. And just suggesting all these bits of reeds and things. And we'll go back into the lighter colour now, still keeping that liquid to keep it flowing. probably add a bit of the sap green to that, just to dull it down a fraction. I'm just using a bit of the darker colour, the black and the various greens as mainly the hooker's green, just to suggest little shadows on this bank side. So again, not too much paint on the brush, you just kind of dab in it with this darker colour just to suggest maybe little stones, little tufts of grass, that kind of thing. And then we'll do the same with the light colour as well for highlights. You can see, you know, it's giving the illusion of a lot of detail without actually painting too much detail. You know, it's just a great technique for those of you who maybe don't enjoy putting lots of detail in, but still want your paintings to, you know, have a sense of realism about them. You know, because not everybody wants to sit there for hours and hours putting lots of detail in. So this technique really is for people that kind of want that realism, but without wanting to labour over the work for too long. You know, whether you've got time constraints, whether you've got a busy job or a young family or whatever it might be, you can still get that realism just by suggesting, you know, I mean, we've spent less than an hour doing that, and the painting so far has probably taken less than 5 hours of work at this stage. So it's quite a quick process when you know the techniques, which is what I'm going to try and teach you. And so I will continue with the more detailed ones as well, because I think they're important for people who want to paint with a lot of detail and things. But for now, this is working well for this little landscape, and we'll, on the next bit, and probably in the next lesson, we'll probably wait for this to dry, and then all we've really got to do is just to define these back bushes here, and then put some trees in, and then we'll just probably put a little bit of final highlight in on these grass and stuff, and maybe a little bit more of the darks, just to make sure that they're working with the contrast that we want. But once I've done this, I'll take a step back and have a look. But you can see hopefully there that, you know, we've made quite a lot of progress without doing too much work on it really. So it's less than an hour I've spent on this, filming this lesson. So I hope you've learned something. Please do subscribe to the channel. Really appreciate absolutely everybody that does. I understand that, you know, time is valuable, so I think it's great that you've clicked on my channel and watched my videos, and I hope you've learned something from them. And if you subscribe, then you'll see the next lesson, so please do join me then.